Hey guys, welcome to the neighborhood. This is the Pixel Street Podcast, episode 148. Each and every week we gather together and talk about one of the things we love most. That is video games. I am your host for this week, John Hansen. Joel is dying from some really severe case of allergies, so he said, "Oh, guys, I can't go on. I can't do the podcast today." So I'm like, you know what? I'll be the superhero. I'll just come in here and host. Today, I am joined by the one and only Connor Kopp. Connor, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, to be honest. I just beat Ghost of Tsushima the other day, which was one of the big ones on my backlog,
Oh,
and that was an incredible experience that I was not expecting to have out of that game. So I'm kind of riding that video game high for a little bit,
oh boy.
which is pretty cool. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's all good over here.
That's really cool. And today, we are joined by a special little guest, Mike Szoke. He is a part of a couple new Xbox projects that are on their way up. Mike, you want to tell us about first Game Pass Counter?
Yeah, so my cousin and I and our partner Alex Dietrich, we're getting kind of tired of constantly having to pull up the Xbox Game Pass app to see what's available on there because the app runs very slowly. And if you exit it for like 5 seconds, it's going to make you reload the whole thing and start the slow process all over again. So we came up with GamePassCounter.com, which is just very self-explanatory. You go there and there's a bunch of lists that tell you about all kinds of different games that are available on Xbox Game Pass. We have a list of all games available on console, PC, xCloud, and we have backwards compatible, XS optimized, crossplay, smart delivery, and lots more lists planned as well. We're planning on doing a Bethesda Softworks list here soon, an Xbox Game Studios list, and a list of all third parties available on the service as well. And we're working on integrating the site with How Long to Beat, Metacritic, and True Achievements as well at the moment.
Yeah, so this is a website. How long ago did it launch? Is it been about a month now?
It's been about 3 weeks that Game Pass Counter has been around.
Yeah, it's I've been keeping my eyes on it and I've checked out the site. It's really cool. If you are like them and you are looking to just find out what's on Game Pass today, because it's always changing. We just got a bunch
There's
of
so
new
much.
games announced
You're
that are
absolutely
leaving
right. I
and
mean,
joining.
navigating that app is kind of a nightmare, and even doing it from the console side, trying to find specific things within specific areas that you're
Yep.
looking to play, or filtering by specifics. Like some of the games and apps sections inside of the Xbox UI have that, but it's not very granular. It's not very good. So
One of the
that's
things
awesome.
we're really focused on is we want to keep this site to one page. We want it to be very simple. You don't have to go through various different pages to find what you're looking for. Everything's on one page. We're planning on adding a search bar at one point and a release calendar here soon as well. So there will be more features coming to it all the time. It's a little slow because it's mostly myself and Alex Dietrich who's doing everything for the site. Every single list on it has been manually created by myself and then uploaded to the website by Alex. So all 900 something lines of text on there were typed out, researched, pulled from multiple sources, and hyperlinked by myself. Um, so it's a slow process, especially with our the Unnamed Xbox Project, the UXP on top of that, and dealing with all of that as well. But we're enjoying it, and the community seems to really love the site as well. So that's always good.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's been awesome. Now I'm just gonna need you to review all of those games so I can know whether or not I want to give them a try. So get
Yes,
on that,
That's
Mike.
why we're integrating with Metacritic so that we don't have to do all the review.
that's fair. Outsourcing, smart guy. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So can you tell us anything about UXP? Because I see it's your cousin, right?
Yes, Garrett is my cousin.
Yes.
He's my older cousin. He's about 6 years older than me. We reconnected because I'm up from near Chicago, Illinois, and at the middle of last year, in the midst of the pandemic, I moved down near St. Louis with my fiance because she's from down here, and I reconnected with Garrett because he's from St. Louis, and I eventually saw him tweet about the UXP, and I just reached out to him. It was the first time we had spoken in a long time, and he was happy to bring me on board and uh, let me take a lead role in it. Can't tell you too much about the secret details of it, like the name and stuff like that. I will tell you that it is very close to being revealed. We just finalized the branding and the logo earlier today. So I would say keep an eye out on it. It'll be there soon. But I can tell you a little bit about like what our goal is with it. So the UXP is aiming to be a multimedia game site with a focus on Xbox. So we'll have a core website where everything is uploaded, including written pieces like reviews, opinion pieces, so stuff like that. But we're planning on having multiple podcasts. Alex and Garrett own a podcast distribution company already called Half Coast Studios. So we'll be getting a lot of help from the fact that they own and operate a podcast distribution company.
Mm-hmm.
They also own a digital marketing company called Vi Media, which has been a huge help to us as well. But we'll also have a YouTube channel with multiple different series on it. We'll have a Twitch channel with what our goal is to have someone streaming on the channel almost every hour of the day. Since we have a global team, that's another thing that's very important to us, is that Xbox is a global brand. So we want to do our best to represent Xbox globally. We want a diverse team. Of all backgrounds, all ethnicities, all genders, everything. We want everyone to be able to come together and find a safe spot where they can enjoy Xbox at the UXP. But yeah, so we're getting close to launch. Really gearing up on staffing at the moment. We're at about 50 people we've brought on board for the project, not including Garrett, Alex, Kyle, Diana, and myself, the leadership of the project. So it's a very large team. Garrett has researched it a little bit. We will be the largest Xbox game site on the internet.
All
Wow.
right.
So definitely something to keep track of if you're an Xbox fan of any sort.
I would say yes.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I know you reached out to me and help, and some stuff I couldn't help on. But if you ever need any help from us Pixel Street guys, we would love to lend a hand, appear on a podcast, and all that
We
stuff.
Yeah,
do
no,
tend to
absolutely.
lean green over here,
We
so
Oh, I know. I used to write with John, so
Yeah.
I have some familiarity with that.
Mhm.
got some biases. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely be in need of guests on our podcast. I know that, like I said, we're gonna have multiple podcasts. We already have a few themes that we've brought underneath the UXP umbrella, such as the Real Gamer Score podcast, which has Matt and Cameron, who are the Australian and New Zealand Xbox Hall of Famers. Their podcast they brought underneath our brand, so we'll have them right off the bat. I plan on starting my own podcast underneath the brand as well with one of my best friends. So there will be plenty of opportunities for you guys to come on and chat with us a bit.
Awesome. All right. So now, Connor, for the next, let's say, 52 minutes, you and I have to figure out what UXP actually means. Because the way they're going with it right now, it's just Unnamed Xbox Project. So
I'll give you a hint. I can give you a hint.
Ultimate.
That's not the actual acronym.
Oh, okay. What is the acronym? Can you give me the
I can't
acronym?
tell you that.
No,
Oh, come on.
that's too easy. See, if he did that, that'd be too easy. I wouldn't like the challenge.
All right.
So-
All right.
I'll give you a slightly better hint.
Okay.
There's no X in the acronym.
Okay.
All right.
All
Ultimate
right.
PlayStation
Y-
Project.
Lovers Association. Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
We got it.
Woo!
First try.
Wrap it up, baby.
Damn.
We're out of here.
All
52
right.
minutes. I needed
Wow.
30 seconds.
Who would have ever
The
thought
joke
that?
I ran by the other leadership that I think you guys will enjoy. So one of our writers suggested us having a section on the website. He was just joking about where we, just like flame Sony, and I said that we should call it the stables.
All right.
Because of
The
Sony
Sony ponies. All right. I got you.
Sure.
That's great.
Okay.
That's pretty
All
good.
right.
All right. Well, that is enough talk about projects coming in the future because we have video game news happening right now. This week,
true.
we are discussing Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th anniversary. Happy birthday, Sonic. Some xCloud improvements. EA may potentially be bringing back a fan favorite. And it's kind of a new philosophy from Disney. So, yeah, let's just start this off right now with today, the day that we are recording this, June 23rd, is the 30th anniversary of the first Sonic the Hedgehog game releasing. So that's just crazy to me. So I'm pretty sure I'll be the one talking the most about this because I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I love him so much. Him and Mario those were the two things that really got me into gaming. So I grew up with Sonic. I was crazy about him. Through all the bad games and the really weird decision making, I still come back to it. So yeah, so we've talked a little bit, excuse me, recently about how Sonic 30th anniversary, they were doing a bunch of new stuff. They announced a new game that on our YouTube channel, I kind of did a little reaction thing to the Sonic Central. Sonic Zap is what it's called, I believe. But today they had a symphony going over the 30 years of Sonic the Hedgehog music. And if you guys, are you guys any way Sonic the Hedgehog fans?
I would say that I'm a fan of Sonic, of the games that I've played. I haven't played very many, and
Okay.
a lot of them that I did play, I was very young as a child on the Dreamcast playing, like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure.
Yes,
I remember loving them
yes.
as a kid, but
Yes, they're so
I
good.
am still a very big fan of Sonic Unleashed to this day. Especially with how well it runs on my Series X.
It's half
So
of a good
I
game.
would say I like it. I really enjoyed Sonic Unleashed, and I'm interested in trying out the rest of the Sonic games that I haven't played. So I'm probably gonna cop Colors when it comes out for the Xbox.
Yes, Colors. Sonic Mania is the best one. Connor, are you any?
Ooh, you're not gonna like me. I tried Mania, and I didn't really
Mania is
like
so
Mania.
good, man. Okay, whatever. Connor, are you any fan of Sonic at all?
Yeah, I mean, the Genesis was one of my first serious consoles that I really started playing and getting into video games with. Shout out Altered Beast one time. Just kidding, nobody talks about that. But I played it a lot because it's the only game I had. No, I think Sonic's great. I used to wake up Saturday mornings and watch Sonic X religiously when it was
Yes.
out.
Go.
It was
Gotta
very,
go
very
fast.
good.
Gotta go
Man,
fast.
in Sonic Adventure, like, do I have to say
Oh,
anything
baby.
about Sonic Adventure? Like, the
Sonic Adventure's
soundtrack's
so
banging, the video game's banging, the whole thing's awesome. I do, however, I want to shake things up a little bit here because I know you're incredibly excited about this, John, and you're our in-resident Sonic mega fan. I
Yes.
see you're wearing the shirt,
That's me,
repping
yes.
the fandom. So
Yes.
I wanted to hit you with 3 questions.
All right.
Okay, so I've got the Sonic fandom page
Ooh.
in front of me here. Okay, so
I built
it's about
it.
as official
Yeah.
as it gets. Yeah, right? It's on the internet. It must be true. So we're going to take this verbatim
Okay.
here, and I want to see both of you guess, and I want to see who gets these right. I know, Mike, this might be a little stretch. I'm going to try not to go too deep. I don't want to go too crazy with it, but I'm going to hit you with 3 questions here. So, Mike, I want your answers first.
Okay. Fails.
Classic, wrong. Classic Sonic's age in the original couple of video games. What was it? I'll accept within 1 or 2 variations of the actual number. So, Mike, think about that for a sec.
Almost all of my knowledge of classic Sonic comes from Polygon's Unraveled series when they did that video on Sonic. So I don't.
Okay.
I think I remember him being kind of young. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I'll go with around 10. We'll throw out 10.
So we're gonna lock in 10. All
We're
right,
gonna lock
Mike's
in
locked
10.
in 10. John, you're our in-house resident super fan. No googling, that's cheating. I wouldn't tell anybody on the internet anyway. What do you have an answer? Do you have a thought? Gut reaction.
He is young. I know that. I don't know the age specifically.
He's got an attitude.
I've got to think. I'm trying to think back to like even the comics when I would read those, and he's still very young there. I'm gonna say he was 12.
Wow, incredible. So both of you are incorrect. However, I will give both of you the point as the answer is 11.
All right.
The answer listed on fandom is 11 years old. So both of you were 1 off. I said I'd take a variation either way. So both of you get 1 point for that. So the second one, John, I hope you know this. Since we just talked about the age, what is Sonic's birthday? Okay, Mike, do you have any thoughts? Got to pick a month. Give me a month. You know, what are you thinking?
I'm just gonna throw out the specifics. I'm just gonna say today. It's today.
Oh, okay. All right.
23rd.
Perfect. That's a good guess.
I have no idea. Sounds like
John?
something the Sonic team
I
would do.
don't remember them ever giving him a birthday. I have no idea, so I'm gonna just have to go with June 23rd as well.
It's today, listed in the
Okay.
fandom wiki page here.
Okay.
I
I think
don't
with
know how
that,
works.
I don't
but
think that's ever been like a canonical thing.
canonically,
I think
yeah,
they just put that
recognized.
because that's the day the
It's
first
on the
game
internet.
released.
It's
Yeah.
bullshit. We all know it. You're
Okay.
right. So we're gonna make it two more here because I've got two more interesting things to say about him. Second to last is gonna be Sonic's height, but I want two different answers. Okay, I want
You want
Sonic's
classic
height
and modern?
in classic, yes, and then I want. Let's do. There's a lot of numbers here. It's kind of fucked up. Who talks this much about Sonic? People like John. You're right.
Yeah.
Uh, let's do. Yeah. Let's go. Classic Sonic and modern Sonic. So that would be the Sonic that we featured in the latest Sonic movie.
From
And,
Adventure onwards.
yes.
That's what
yep.
it would
so,
be. Yep.
Mike, think about two numbers here. I will accept it in preferably feet and inches combined. So give me like 7'8". He's definitely not. That's a fake number. You can't
He is
use
not
it.
that.
Mike, what are you thinking?
Manifesting Dr. Eggman's Robotnik's. I'm manifesting him right now. He's
Okay.
gonna tell me. He's a scientist. He knows his stuff.
He
We're
would
gonna
have
go
the
with
measurements.
2'6" for classic,
Okay.
and we're gonna go with 3'8" for modern.
Okay.
All right.
John.
I'm going to go a little taller. So classic, I will say 3'6". No. I take that back. 4'2". Modern, 5'5".
Mike takes the point. He's very, very close.
Oh, is he?
Surprisingly. So, John, you're actually not terribly far off. Modern Sonic is listed as anywhere from 3'6" to 4'6".
Okay.
Okay, so that's modern. Classic is actually 2'8".
Oh, I was
I need to think of how
I
tall
know.
is 2
He's a
foot?
hedgehog.
Did not fail
Who knew?
me.
It's
Yeah.
very short.
The problem is there's only a few games that he's actually like up against humans, and
Right.
it's
Well, and
hard
also,
to gauge that.
He's not kissing
they're
them.
lying. That scale's BS. I don't.
There's
I don't
no
believe
way
it. I
he's
don't
2
buy
foot
it for a
tall.
second.
I
Then in
don't buy it.
the movie, he's listed as 3'9" to 4'7". I don't know why there's two numbers. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
but that's what you get. So
Maybe it's without
Ba-
quills and with.
No,
you're right.
there was Baby Sonic.
Oh, there was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Baby Sonic. Well, that's it for Birch's quiz minute.
All right.
John, spotlight's yours.
All right. So now that we got that out of the way, if you guys haven't checked out the Sonic 30th Anniversary Symphony today, it was awesome. Even with all the bad games in the series, the one thing that the Sonic games always nail is the soundtracks. The scores are amazing. They did medleys for all the early games. They brought in Crush 40 to do their renditions of Live and Learn, Open Your Heart. They one of the ending songs was Escape from the City. Oh, such a good song, man.
Classic.
Yeah, just overall brilliant show. It was amazing. They even did the thing that I love where they at the end they started combining the symphony and the rock bands that were playing. And I absolutely love that shit. One of my favorite concerts to ever listen to was Bring Me the Horizon at the Royal Albert Hall, I believe it's called, where they do the same thing.
One of
It's
my
hard
favorite
rock with
albums
symphonies.
is Cage the Elephant's Unpeeled, which brings orchestral instruments into their rock soundtrack.
And I love
So
Skillet.
I feel you there.
Yeah, so it's absolutely brilliant. Even if you're not like the biggest fan of Sonic games, I recommend at least checking it out. Really cool. We'll end this discussion up real quick here, since I think I'm the only one that would really have much to say in this. But your favorite game / memories with Sonic, Connor. I know you mentioned Sonic X. Did you ever watch any of the other cartoon shows with Sonic?
Whoa, chili dogs. Yes, absolutely. I did. Are you kidding me?
Oh, baby.
Sonic classic cartoons were fantastic.
The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and then Sonic Underground.
Like Underground. I remember that one.
Sonic Underground. That one was more of the weirder ones. Funny story about that. In the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 cover, where it's got Sonic and Tails up front, and then Eggman is like throwing down like a tube behind them, and his eyes are all black. That was actually a mistake, because the people that made that cover didn't realize that in the game, Eggman is wearing just black glasses, but they thought because it's pixels, his eyes are black.
Eyeballs.
So the cartoons started looking at him and giving him black eyeballs, and they would like put like red in them because he's evil. I love interesting stuff like that. Yeah, when it comes to me, Sonic Mania, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Generations, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, man, I love them all. My absolute favorites in the series. I still shudder at Sonic 06.
I'm very partial to Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine myself.
Yeah, Puyo
And
Puyo, essentially.
How much it hurt me as a child trying to play that game. It destroyed any confidence I had in myself as a child. Like, you can't even get past level 2. I'm just like, what?
I never played that one, but I've played Puyo Puyo, and I've never understood it really, so I would probably be right there with you. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to end the Sonic conversation right there. Happy birthday, Sonic. I love you, buddy. Next up, xCloud servers are upgrading to Series X specs. Well, what this really means for xCloud going forward. So if you're playing xCloud on either a browser or the Android app, you're going to see higher frame rates, higher pixel resolutions, faster loading times, and advanced rendering features. So essentially, this is just the game's
everything Stadia promised but couldn't deliver on.
Well, I was going to say this is essentially upgrading xCloud to be a Series X instead of a 1X, which is pretty much what it's been until this point. So overall, great update. I haven't seen much of it yet. I think only a few games have updated at the point. They haven't officially announced it, but it's very much on the way. Mike, do you mess around with xCloud at all?
A lot, actually. I actually have right over here.
Is it a Razer Kishi?
I do have my Razer Kishi.
Hey,
yeah, I've got one of those
right
too.
Here.
It's so good.
I'm very fortunate. I got mine for $50 off of Amazon. So everyone complains about how it's too overpriced. I'm like, I don't know. I like it for $50.
I paid, I think $100, and I still think it was worth it. It was really good.
Mine was one of the warehouse returned ones.
Gotcha.
That's also how I got my Switch Lite. I got that for like $100 because of that. But yeah, no, I love xCloud. I especially love I know I have the Kishi, but I really love the touch titles. I'm very excited that Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon got the touch controls because I'm missing one achievement on it. And it requires so much insane grinding. And now I can just grind on it for a few minutes wherever I am when I have a little bit of spare time. So that's very nice.
Yeah, that is nice. Not to the level of that, but in Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, is that the first one? Saga is the second one. I ran through it and I got all of the collectibles in that game except for one, and that game doesn't have chapter select. So I had to start all the way over.
I'm in the exact same predicament as you.
Yeah, so I've been slowly getting through that on my phone as well. But most recently, I played through Gears 5 all the way on it, finally. I kept saying I was going to play through Gears 5, and I was like, you know what? I'm watching these Cardinal games. I'm just going to start up Gears 5, and it played great, especially with the Kishi. Yeah, xCloud is... It's slow. It's becoming so much more than I thought it would be. I still think it's going to be just a great companion piece to Game Pass. I think that's all it will... I think that's the biggest thing it will ever be, but the better it becomes, just the better it is for Game Pass in general. I mean, we talk about it all the time on this podcast that Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. The better that xCloud is just... It just takes that to new heights. And I'm using it to test games before I install them, since you know the browser isn't active on the Series X yet. So I've been just trying out games on my phone to see if I enjoy them before I commit to downloading them. Yeah.
I did that with Crackdown 3 recently, and I am one of the few Crackdown 3 fans out there. But...
Hey man, it's
Crackdown 3's
good,
fun.
Honest fun.
The single player is good. I don't like the multiplayer. The multiplayer sucks.
I didn't touch the multiplayer. I don't do a whole lot of multiplayer stuff. So I played the campaign. I was like, I got to wreck stuff as Terry Crews for 20 hours, and that's fine by me. That's all I needed from this game was to Rex. I didn't play as a single other agent. I unlocked every agent. I didn't touch a single other one than Terry Crews.
I'm trying to remember. I think I might have written a review for that game somewhere, but I just remember playing through it and just being like, I feel like I'm playing the first Crackdown, which isn't bad. It just felt like it should have come out like more than a decade earlier.
It was very stale. Yeah.
But no, it by no means is it a bad game. Connor, you been playing xCloud at all lately? No, because you're a lowly iPhone user.
Yeah. Laugh it up. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I have no like use case other than my cell phone that I would do anything with xCloud. So PC is really out of the question for me because my Xbox is on my desk. I mean, it's literally right here. I have a 4K monitor dedicated to it, so it's meant specifically for that. And yeah, you know, xCloud, I would love to be able to use it. What I do love about it is that they seem intent on just continually pushing the boundary with it, you know.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted to see out of this kind of service. Is not something that's just going to be thrown to the wayside in a couple of months or some kind of cheap gimmick or something. Like they've been iterating on it. This upgrade to the Series X specs was pretty quiet, under the radar. They didn't make. I'm sure there might be some kind of announcement later.
Yeah,
but,
it hasn't been officially announced yet. It's just been kind of going out.
Impressive that they've been dedicating so much resources to the Play with Touch games. They added 8 new Play with Touch games in this last week.
Yeah.
And on top of that, really, you see all of the lists, and of course, Mike, you're probably super familiar, but all the lists that they showcase for what's next on Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
So many of those are cloud titles. Like they're adding consistent and constant.
Has a cloud version.
And they're going back on ones that didn't, and
having more games than PC. It's getting there. It's not quite there. It has less, but it's getting there. Just at the rate that it's getting new titles in comparison to PC.
Yeah, it's a fantastic level of support. It's great to see. I can't wait for it to hit you know, the Apple side of things. Of course, I kind of hate being in that walled garden, but it is what it is. Made my choice, and now I got to die with it. So
you will die. Yeah. I've just been so impressed with how much xCloud has improved over. It's been about 2 years now, right? That it's been out.
I think it was September 2019 is when it first started launching. So yeah, almost 2 years.
Yeah, I remember. I got in right at the beginning. I was part of the early testers, and it was a little rough when you weren't playing on a Wi-Fi connection. But now even that, just your cellular data, it plays so much better. Can't wait to see how much better it gets with Series X. All right, moving on here. EA may be reviving Dead Space. So Jeff Grubb, if any of you know who he is, started coming out and doing what Jeff Grubb does, throwing out like little rumors and accusations and kind of hinting at Dead Space making a comeback at EA Play this July. I believe it's July 22nd when that show goes live. The thing with Jeff Grubb is he says a lot. He does say a lot. I want to remind everyone before they start saying, oh, this is confirmed that it's coming. We don't know until the show starts. And Jeff Grubb was also the guy that was leading the charge on Starfield is releasing in November of 2020. Or 2021, I mean. And now we know that that's 2022. So he doesn't have a perfect track record. He has gotten some things right in the past, but
I'd say he's one of the better insiders when it comes to accuracy, but I also feel like sometimes he throws out stuff on purpose to troll people.
Yeah.
That also hurts his record, but no, I enjoy him. He's great.
Yeah, no, he seems like a good guy, but I also believe he throws out stuff for clout a lot. But
yeah, he does.
Yeah, so all I'm saying is don't get too excited yet if you're a big Dead Space fan, but pretty much the big story here is that there's an established series that the EA Motive team is working on that is going to be revealed this July. Connor, if Dead Space is this established series, do we want it to come back? Do you want to see Dead Space come back?
So it's a very dichotomous question here. For me personally, I am the world's biggest baby when it comes to horror video games, and I don't care. That said, people like to complain on Twitter, and one of the things they like to complain about a lot is that there's no Dead Space. So, yes, I'm firmly in the camp, put out Dead Space so people stop being stupid on Twitter. That sounds great.
Mike, are you a Dead Space fan?
I am an incredibly huge Dead Space fan. Dead Space 1 is one of my all-time favorite games of ever. It's a masterpiece of horror and fiction, and the fact that it uses essentially no dialogue to paint this phenomenal tale of the mental illness that Isaac goes throughout it is amazing. And I love Dead Space 2 as well, but that silent, I feel like Dead Space 1 really nails the silent protagonist with the twist at the end of the game, and that's lost in Dead Space 2, which is still a masterpiece too, but that artful part of Dead Space 1 is why I personally lean more towards it. I'm even a fan of Dead Space 3, which is also another hot take, but I love Dead Space 3. I would love to see Dead Space come back. Nervous about EA Motive being the ones charging it. Star Wars Squadrons was quite the buggy mess. I had to restart the final mission 23 times in order to get through it on my Series X. So very scared. The only team at EA that I would personally feel comfortable working on a new Dead Space would probably be Respawn, who's very busy and does not have time to work on Dead Space. But I would love if they did. They have a proven track record of being able to enter new genres that they don't have experience in and deliver great titles in that space. But I am 100% down if they decide to pull a Dead Space Legendary edition and just do a Mass Effect style remaster of the 3 titles and put them out there. And that would make me more than happy.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, is if you would rather see a remaster or a new title.
If Motive is the ones working on it, I would rather see a remaster.
Yeah.
If it was Respawn or another more competent developer under EA, I would prefer to see a Dead Space 4 or a Dead Space reboot. Since the DLCs of Dead Space 3 kind of humanity and Earth. So
I do feel like Dead Space or EA Motive, they're always the guys chosen for the side jobs.
They are.
Like, you have your Star Wars Squadrons, and I think they did the battle stuff on Battlefront 2. I'd have to look it up. I don't think they've had like any big releases under EA. I don't believe so.
I've got their page up right now.
All right, speak to me, Connor. Speak to me, baby.
Hang on, I wasn't there yet. Hang on.
Oh, wow. What do you know?
Not
Connor's
a very
late
good
again.
page, to be honest with you. It doesn't have a lot of things listed on it. I can't help the fact
So
that they don't do very good things.
So it seems like they've always been the complementary development team.
Yeah.
That tells me that people are going to be disappointed. That's just what it is.
Okay.
Or EA has decided to give them a chance, because while Squadrons was a flawed game and buggy,
People did
well
like it
commercially, and people did enjoy it. So they might have been like, "Hey, we'll give you a larger chance to try something new."
That's true. What you got, Connor?
So they did work on Battlefront 2.
Yeah, they did
in collaboration with Dice and Criterion.
The Space Battles, I think it's called.
Gosh, they had a canceled game named Gaia that never made it through development.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of a large amount of their work. Yeah, it's just support team stuff for the most part.
Yeah.
Aside from Squadrons being their most recent.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would be very surprised if this ends up being like a spin-off or a Dead Space 4, whatever way they go.
Unless they decide to release a very bad Dead Space game again, like Dead Space Ignition. They could just release a very bad Dead Space game. They've done it before.
Yeah, they probably would again. It's EA. We're talking EA here.
Squadrons.
Yeah. Well, what do you think the reception's going to be when it turns out to be a mobile game?
I will be surprised. I've already been hurt.
You guys have phones, don't you?
So I'll just be like, yeah, that makes sense. You just my favorite franchises that no longer get games get turned into mobile games. That's just how it works. That's just what happened.
For sure. Yeah, Dead Space has been. When was the last one? 2010?
2011 or 2010?
It's been over a decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a while. It's been a while. I don't know. I know that people really enjoy the Dead Space trilogy. I only
That is
gave
very good.
I only gave the first one a try, but I was also like 15, I think, when I played it, so I was a scared little
It's a
boy.
slow burn horror game, which means
Mhm.
not a lot of people are going to be into it, which is why I was very surprised at the backlash of Dead Space 3, because people at the time really didn't care for Dead Space 1 and 2 because they're slow burn horror games. So they're like,
Mhm.
yeah, we'll keep the horror elements, but we'll make it a little more action based, and everyone was like, this is the worst game ever.
Yeah. Oh well. Regardless of what you think of Dead Space coming back or not, you know, if if EA Motive, I'm gonna just call it out right now. If they're bringing back an established series, bring back Burnout. I've been saying it for years. You know what? You can remake Burnout 3. That's what EA Motive can do. I give them permission to do that.
I'd
Okay.
rather do.
Oh,
You heard it here first.
bring Burnout back. Hashtag let Need for Speed die. All right, Disney has a new philosophy on video games. That philosophy being let developers create something new with their IP. So I have some quotes pulled up here. This is a talk that here. What's his name? Crap, I lost his name. The SVP of Walt Disney Games, Sean Shoptaw. So if you haven't noticed, Disney is doing a really good job of lending out their IP recently. So we've got Pirates of the Caribbean and Sea of Thieves. We've got Avatar. What was the something Pandora? Man, I really don't care about
Frontiers
Avatar.
of Pandora?
Frontiers of
I think it's
Pandora.
Frontiers of Pandora.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ubisoft got that. EA's had Star Wars for a while, but they made a new story in Jedi Fallen Order. Kingdom Hearts has been going on forever, but they're doing a really good job lately of giving out their IP for studios to make new stories with. And yeah. So when asked about why is Disney doing this now, why are they not doing the whole movie tie-in game anymore? And Shoptaw says, I think the medium has demanded it, frankly. The game's medium has demanded that you come with stories that are unique to this medium and not retellings of things that might exist elsewhere. And so certainly for us on the game's leadership side of things, we've been really focused on doing just that, which is empowering the best game developers and publishers in the world to tell unique stories with our IP. I think we owe that to our consumers and certainly from a Disney perspective. We feel like that's going to deliver the highest quality product. And yeah, I totally agree with him right there. I absolutely love what Disney is doing with their IP on the video game side right now. For a long,
Let Ninja Theory make a Daredevil game, please.
that would be pretty cool.
Sure. Hell yeah.
That's all I ask.
But yeah, they're doing it a lot with Marvel games right now. But I think we're gonna start seeing it with other areas as well. Like I mentioned, we just got Pirates of the Caribbean. The more games like that we get, the better. Growing up, there were quite a few Disney games out there, and I really enjoyed them. You have The Lion King, you have Aladdin. Yeah, those are movie tie-in games, but they also had some off-the-wall, like crazy Mickey Mouse ones that weren't really connected to anything, and they were great as well. What's that?
I said you could say they were epic.
Yeah, Epic Mickey. It really, man, that game could have been so much better than it was. I love it. It's not a good game. Well, it's a mediocre game. It could have been better.
The first one was
Passable.
pretty good. I heard the second one wasn't as good.
No, the second one sucks. The second one's not good at all. The first one is pretty good though. The big problem with the first one is that it came out on the Wii only. Regardless,
Well,
again,
and the biggest problem with the second one is it was on the Wii U. So
well, it also came to 360.
yeah, but anything that touches the Wii U
yeah.
is just automatically doomed.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Back on track here, though. Yeah, if you guys could choose a Disney IP to get a completely new story, or maybe just bring back an old Disney game, what Disney games would you like to see? Got any ideas? I know, Mike, you just mentioned Daredevil from...
Well, yes, a Ninja Theory Daredevil game is like a dream of mine. Seeing what they've done with the mental side of things with Hellblade is amazing, and I think their dedication to exploring games of that capacity makes them the only dev in the space that could make a Daredevil game the way that Daredevil fans want, which is where his vision actually has an impact on the game. And I think Ninja Theory would be the devs capable of creating an experience to do that. Otherwise, it's another Disney IP. They have the rights to it, at least for a TV show. Is I would love in some way, because I'm fairly young, but I'd love a Percy Jackson and the Olympians game. I feel like that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I love Greek mythology based fiction. Big Hades fan. Even gave I'm gonna call it Gods and Monsters because that was a better name. So Gods and Monsters.
I was gonna say Ubisoft, the team that made Gods and Monsters and Assassin's Creed Odyssey they seem perfect for a game like that.
Yep, I would love it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool. Connor, you got any ideas?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I love that things are moving in this direction because I think over sanitization of an IP is a real problem. When you try to very tightly control everything that goes on, I think you got to kind of play fast and loose with it. And some of my favorite video games, honestly, have been hidden gems rather, have been those fast and loose IP situations, like X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
The movie was god awful, but that video game had some special sauce to it, man. And without that IP, I don't think it would have existed. So that old Disney skateboarding games, like that kind of quirky, weird, off the wall stuff, I love seeing. And for me, I'm kind of cheating here, same as Mike did, because they own the IP now. But my favorite video games of all time are licensed IP video games. It's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I think that they are the pinnacle of RPG, masterpiece storytelling, and I would love to see them come back and bring that back. There's obviously been rumors swirling around for years that they're going to do something, remaster it, or whatever it may be. But I think it goes to show you that just because there is a lot of stories told in a universe doesn't mean there can't be more. I think there's such fantastical and wonderful mythologies that exist in pop culture today, and video games are such an incredible medium to tell whatever story you want to inside of that space. For instance, Jedi Fallen Order, I think, is one of the best video games of the past couple of decades. It is really a phenomenal story piece,
I think one thing that is underappreciated in Fallen Order specifically is how good the platforming in that game is.
Yes.
It probably has the best 3D platforming in any game. 3D platforming from a Western developer that I have ever seen. It is so fun. You can just slide down a hill, do flips, grab a bar, swing, slide again, wall run. It's just smooth, snappy, and that's before we got the XS optimization with the frame rate boost. I'm planning on going back and revisiting it now with that, but just Respawn is they're one of my favorite developers, and they have nailed it. I am so excited for the sequel. I literally cannot wait. They Titanfall 3, which is not confirmed to exist, but that and
it's better. I'm
2.
suing somebody if it doesn't at some point in the future.
They are giving Respawn. This was like a year and a half ago. But they said that they are giving Respawn their creative freedom over the Titanfall IP. And Titanfall 3 was originally something that they wanted to make before they made Apex. So I'm anticipating that it's being made, but it's not confirmed. But Titanfall 3 and Fallen Order 2 are two of my most anticipated games.
Yes,
I will be there day one buying whatever collector's edition comes out, and I will be dedicating my life to it until I've done every single part of it that I can.
All right, if we're going to talk about the best platforming 3D games ever, let me introduce you to Sunset Overdrive, which is better than...
I also love Sunset Overdrive,
so good.
And I hope that,
video game.
hope that Insomniac is allowed to revive it on the PS5.
I think
that will make me... I haven't gotten a PS5 yet. That will make me get a PS5.
Gotcha. When I think of Disney IP that I want to see a new game, this one has been writing on one media for over 20 years now. We're getting close to 30 years. Wow, I'm old. That guy right there. Jack Skellington needs his own new video game. He did get one. He got one. And he's in Kingdom Hearts. Yes, I'm saying I want a narrative, not tied to the game, but give me Jack Skellington, Sally, give me all the characters, just something kind of a spin-off, whatever. Don't make a sequel. Don't do that. I don't like that shit. Just give me a new story in Halloween Town with Jack, Sally, Oogie Boogie, everyone there in a narrative, not a decision-making thing. I want a straightforward story. Tell me a story that you want to tell me. My only problem is I don't know who would make it, because there's just no one out there that I would really trust with Jack Skellington at the moment. But I really think of like creepy environments and like some that like Tim Burton-esque storytelling and everything. It's a very specific kind of storytelling. I think a development team could do that, and I think they could do it very well. We've seen games like Don't Starve. There's a PS5 game that's coming out really soon that has a very Tim Burton-esque art style to it. I want something like that in The Nightmare Before Christmas. I know that's not going to happen. The first game that they made didn't do too well, but Nightmare Before Christmas, man. I love it. It's my favorite movie of all time. I will talk about Jack Skellington any day with anyone.
That's how I am with Lord of the Rings, so I'm really crossing my fingers that
Man,
I'm
you
right
want
there
to
with
talk
you.
about more diamonds in the rough.
For games, because them bringing the Middle Earth games to Xbox would be a dream come true.
Give me more.
Even
give me more
the
Lord of
not
the Rings.
even the not amazing
Right here.
licensed movie games I think are fantastic. Like the Two Towers video game.
They are.
It's all I want it to be. Like it doesn't have to be grandiose, you know.
I
Just let it be
played,
Legolas and shoot some
I
fucking
would
orcs.
never
That
be
would be
excited
amazing.
for a game like Golem if it wasn't Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
inspired.
I
If you just take the Lord of the Rings out of that game and presented it as something original, I'd be like, who's gonna play this?
Yeah.
But they put Lord of the Rings on it, and I'm like, I'm there day one, don't care.
I'm the same way. I played the Third Age on GameCube, and I think that one was, if I remember right, it was like a story revolving around the Lord of the Rings story.
It was.
It was
My
really
favorite
cool.
older Lord of the Rings game is Conquest, because it's basically Star Wars Battlefront, but with Lord of the Rings, and that is a good time.
Yeah, but that's not Disney. Oh, one more quick shout out. There was a demo disc I played back in the day that was based on Extremely Goofy Movie. It was a skateboarding game that you played as Goofy or Max. Bring that back. Vicarious Visions. There you go. Give it to them. They did so good with Tony Hawk. That's right. Cancel Call of Duty. This is more important.
Yeah, cancel Call of Duty and bring back Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yes. Okay. That does it for our main topics today. Let's get into some quick news here. First up, 343 is dedicated to Halo Infinite releasing this holiday. They have the release date narrowed down to between 3 and 4 weeks. So what this tells me is it's coming out in sometime in October to November before Black Friday, like everyone knows. But they said they don't have a firm release date yet, but somewhere in that window, pretty much. Connor, do you have any objections?
Objection. Yes.
Whoa. Yeah,
I have an objection. Are you ready for this?
You have to do the Phoenix right. Objection!
Hey, that's another one of my favorite series.
I love Phoenix Wright. Hold it!
Yeah, like, man, why not just give us a date and then push it a week or two if you have to? Like,
right?
Whatever.
I think it's because of the backlash they've gotten from delaying it before. They don't want to give a solid date until they have the solid date. I do have one prediction for it.
Okay.
I think the multiplayer is going to release before the campaign.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
They just do it, and I think they're going to launch it a week, 2 weeks early to build hype for the campaign. That's just a prediction.
I think the closest thing for that is the flight tests that they'll be doing. I think that's the closest you'll get to that. It's a good guess, though. All right, moving on here. Final Fantasy VII Remake had a pole dancing scene with Cloud, but they removed it over rating concerns. So if you don't know, in Final Fantasy VII, there is a moment where Cloud has to cross-dress. I played through it once, and he's like trying to sneak into an area and get past some guy.
He's trying to sneak into like the mafia bosses.
Yeah.
Hideout, and he only lets women in. I believe it's been a while since I played.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, there was originally a scene there where Cloud was pole dancing, so that would have been hot. Get out your Buster
I want
Sword,
that version
baby.
of the game,
Right?
man.
Exactly. I guess I'm not buying another remake now.
Yeah, so lame.
Yeah, gotta
I'll
skip
play it
it.
on Game Pass.
Yeah. Next up, the Borderlands movie has finished filming. Don't expect it anytime soon, though. They still have to do all the visual effects and everything. It's gonna be a while, but the filming side of things is done. Don't worry, we don't have to see Randy Pitchford in Budapest. Is that where they are? Where were they?
I don't know, man.
I don't remember.
Do we have to talk about Randy Pitchford? Is that legally
like
is that a thing that we have to do?
You know,
I'm a
like,
game industry person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lower than F tier.
Yeah. That's so disappointing. All right. Next up, the most tweeted about video game in 2021 so far. Do you know what it is? Probably, because you guys are reading the show notes too. It's Genshin Impact.
Docker. That's
right?
kind of wild. But then again, like, anime boobs, yeah, of course it's popular. I get it.
So,
I think I played the game for an hour before I dropped it.
I haven't covered Genshin Impact since I got early access to it last year at some point. But another guy on the GamePro team, Aiden, he covers it a lot. And that game is huge for us on GamePro. It does a lot of traffic for us.
Yeah.
It doesn't really surprise me that much that it is the most tweeted about video games so far in 2021. Give me a second here. I did have the list up and I must have closed it on accident. See if I can quickly find it here. There's the Borderlands thing. You know what? I give up. It wasn't probably anything that good anyway on the rest of that list. Okay, next up, big news for Overwatch fans. Crossplay is now live, so you can now party up and play against anyone that has a copy of Overwatch, whether it is on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. The only restriction on it is PC players cannot crossplay with console players in competitive mode. Everything else they can. Competitive mode, you cannot crossplay with your friends on console, which is the right move. Great move. The one thing I love about the Overwatch team is they are very serious about their competitive style. It needs fixed up badly still, don't get me wrong, but they've always been really good about not cutting down on console players using keyboards and that kind of stuff. They want to keep it as fair as possible. But hey, if you're playing on Switch and you want to play competitive with someone on Xbox, you're going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage if you're playing handheld. Don't know why you would do that, but hey, get the Switch fixed. Yeah, really cool stuff. I'm excited for it. Last up on our quick news, Cyberpunk 2077 is back in the PlayStation 4 store finally, but Sony is still warning against people with base PS4s from buying it, saying that over the years to come that it will continuously be updated and made better. So who wants to play Cyberpunk 2077 on an Xbox One or a PS4 right now? Like, I just don't get that.
I'm shocked that they would advise against it and yet still allow it to be sold on those platforms. Yeah, like in my mind, that's kind of a legal nightmare as far as tightrope walking, because you know, if you're selling a product that you're actively saying probably isn't very good, I don't know that protects you from much of anything other than the fact that you're still selling a shitty product. I don't get it. Yeah, it's weird.
Doesn't make sense. Okay, we have about 5 minutes here. Let's run through what we've been playing real quick. Let's start off with Mike. Mike, what have you been playing?
I just started Descenders the other day, the mountain bike game.
It's rad.
Which is on Game Pass.
It's pretty fun. I was surprised, never expected to be into a mountain bike game, but the way that it's procedurally generated, I think, is really neat. Other than that, I've been playing through Judgment for the first time, the the Yakuza spin-off starring Yakami, which is likely coming to Game Pass soon as well. Lost Judgment is one of my most anticipated games of 2021. The Yakuza series is one of my favorites of all time. That red game right over there on my shelf, on the Xbox shelf, is the collector's edition of Like a Dragon. I had to import it from France to get it, but
Damn.
Very, very big fan, so I've been playing through that. Ton of fun.
Awesome.
Just good time. Peak fiction.
All right, Connor, tell me about Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, finally got a chance to wrap that up at 53 hours is what I put into it, and I'm just shy of 100%ing it too. Like, I still got the random BS collectibles to run around and go grab. A few things to wrap up as far as like the hot springs that you have to find around the map, and the bamboo strikes and that kind of stuff. So a few little odds and ends here. I don't know if I'm going to clean up the rest of it or not, but I really, really enjoyed my time in that video game. I think it's one of the most incredible art pieces that we've seen in games media in a long time. And really my biggest thought on it was that I was surprised how much DNA it shared with Breath of the Wild. Not to say that it was influenced specifically, but just the aspects of it that I particularly latched onto and enjoyed were very similar. It's an open world that you can kind of see what you want to go do next. Like maybe here's a burning village, or over there is a fox den or something, and they go to great lengths to not take you out of that experience the entire time, down to where the wind kind of directs you around and whatnot. And almost that UI free experience that just pushes you to explore is exactly what I had with Breath of the Wild, and I thought it was fantastic in Ghost of Tsushima. I think everybody should give it a chance if they like Assassin's Creed, Devil May Cry, even. It's got a very, very good combat system. Even Soulsborne fans, I think it's very thought out altogether. So, and it's probably coming to PC soon anyway. So there you go. You can play it there. Very good.
Awesome. Yeah, I still need to give Ghost of Tsushima a try. It's in my library. I bought it on PC. I bought it when it first came out. I game share with our other host Joel on PlayStation, so I mostly bought it so he could play because he bought Last of Us. But I can download it on my PS5 whenever I want. I just haven't. Oh well. So I've been playing a game that just released on Game Pass as well. It is called Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, and it's fine. It's okay. It's so
That was a glowing review.
About everybody.
Yeah.
Is that exact reaction? It's okay.
Yeah.
I've heard it's fun with friends.
Yeah.
I played the tutorial yesterday, and I was like,
It's a loot brawler that just doesn't do anything special. It's a Dungeons and Dragons game that you can't create your own characters. Like, Dungeons and Dragons has always been about, hey, this is you. You're going on an epic quest. You're gonna loot dungeons. You're gonna take down Durgans. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's I'm kind of disappointed in it, but regardless, I'm playing it for free on Game Pass. I don't really care. But I wouldn't say it is kind of clunky. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say janky. Janky's
Yeah,
the word
janky.
that resonates with me. It's janky.
Yeah. I wish it was better. Hopefully that they put out some updates to make it better in the future. I'll keep playing it for a little bit longer. We'll see. Maybe I'll talk about it next week. Other game I've been playing is Knockout City some more. I recently, a few weeks ago, I think I put up an article talking about how this is the best multiplayer game of 2021 so far, and I still stand by that. They have a new summertime event out called Heat Wave, which is a lot of fun. It's not really anything different. It's just as you're playing dodgeball in all these arenas, there's ice pops around the area that you can grab that will give you tickets to buy cosmetics. I do have guides for every single ice pop up on GamePer, so if you're interested in looking for that, look it up. Yeah, other than that, I've kind of been dabbling in games. I played through Gears 5 on xCloud, like I said. Played a little bit of Overwatch again. There's nothing that's really caught my attention big time. But that might change this weekend with Mario Golf Super Rush on Switch. Yeah, but I think that will do it for episode 148 of the Pixel Street Podcast. Thank you so much for listening or watching, people. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street and subscribe to our YouTube. You can find that by searching Pixel Street Videos or just go youtube.com/Pixel Street Videos. We got that custom URL. You will find exclusive content there from us that you will not find anywhere else. I believe this weekend me and Joel will be putting together a review for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Spoiler alert, it's a pretty damn good game. I'm not sure if we have anything else in the works at the moment. You can also join our Discord by following the link in the description of this show and become a part of a growing community of nerds. Come join us for what we call Pixel Street Pal Party Nights, which is just a night that we get the community together and play some games. We've played a bunch. We haven't played in a while, so I really want to get us going again here soon, but I'm so tired. I'm overworked. I'm tired. Finally, wherever you are watching or listening to the show, please give us a truthful rating. Whatever it is, thumbs up, thumbs down, 5 stars, negative 5 stars. It will help us get better for the future, so let us know what you think. Can be improved, and we will see what we can do. Signing off here, though, Mike, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mike Szoke, MikeSzoke. I'm also, right on my Twitter, you have my link tree, which will take you to anything else that I'm on, my Instagram, my Steam, my Xbox, TikTok, all that stuff, Game Pass counter. It's all there in my Twitter bio.
All right, awesome. Connor?
Twitter and Twitch at The Real Birch, Birch like the tree without the I, BRCH. Wanted to shout out one time, you've also got that upcoming product, XGP, that you don't want to talk about
UXP.
Here. UXP, sorry. See, I already forgot the acronym. That's why the other one wouldn't have been much help. So yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of that. It's going to be really cool. Again, if you're an Xbox fan, it's going to be something to keep your eyes open for.
All right, and on Twitter, I am at Rivik Shadows. You can also find my writing on GamePer.com, where I've done a lot lately. I'm just tired, man. E3 wore me out. Yeah, other than that, I think that does it for us. Mike, it was so great catching up with you again.
Thanks for having me.
Catch us next week for episode 149, same time and place. Bye!